Welcome back. All right, got that out of the way. Let's get a bait out now. Very little bait, actually. It's what I caught yesterday. 3 baits, 3 gill is what I have. So we're gonna start out with a smaller bait before we do like a big bait here. And we're going to be risky, we're going to be brave. We're not using a steel leader to start out, even though I expect bull shark, but that's not the only thing out there. So we're gonna go ahead and cut the gut pocket off this, and we're gonna use a midsection bait from this gill. This has been in the fridge, so cutting it with scissors isn't tearing it up too much. It's just easy peasy, right? There we go. We can use these baits later, the headpiece, maybe even the gut pocket in the back end. 50-pound mono is my leader. Could end up getting a bull shark in without it cutting through that. Maybe, maybe not. Same thing could be said about alligator gar. 4 ounces of lead. 80-pound is the main line. That's braid. That's a 6/0 octopus right there. Nice, nice, nice. Looks like that's going to be a decent cast. Yeah, you're right. There we go. Only 1 rod tonight. So what's going on here is the drift. It is 4 ounces of lead, but there is current. We're in an anchorage, right? Luckily, it's not busy. There's not a lot in the anchorage. We've got this one bulker right here, and then that's it. That's the closest one. There's nothing really down there. It's fairly quiet. You don't hear that typical industrial drone that you hear when you have a full up anchorage, when there's, you know, boats anchored in here. But what's going on is I want to fish deeper water, not shallow water, because it's super hot, right? And so I have a drop off in front of me, and there's current. Even though it's 4 ounces of lead and the river's low, not much current, it's enough to give us a drift for a while. And that's what that bounce on the rod tip was the drift. Sometimes you end up picking up a fish during that drift, and that's why I watch. Some people, when they're watching my drift, they're thinking I got a fish already. But yeah, it's just the drift. If there was a fish there, it'd be all of a sudden more pronounced. But it has stopped, and we shall just continue watching 1 rod. 6:47 p.m. Oh, we're gonna have to put you back on. We have about an hour till sunset, and it looks like we're getting a bite right there. Let me get this chesty back on. Oh, we got a slack line. Sorry, you were looking at the ground. See that slack line? Oh, see that bite? Look at that. Well, I haven't been here long. Not at all. That might be a gaff top. So yeah, just like the title says and everything, this is the Mississippi River. Most of you know that, but some of you might be new, you know. But, you know, it's in the title, so. Yeah, but why am I talking about bull shark? A lot of you know why, but some of you might be new. You know it's the Mississippi River based on the title, but you don't understand why bull shark is in the vocabulary here. That's because the bull shark are in the river here. This is so far down the river that we're below the salt line, where the river is super tidal here. It's so low that salt water is backed up. We might not have pure salt water in front of us, but we've got certain saltwater species coming up the river, even past where the pure salt water is. So it happens just about every year in summer when the river drops low like this. We got saltwater cats like gaff top up here, you know, and we got bull shark. Various other things show up. Further you go down river, here in Plaquemines Parish, the more saltwater species you may encounter in the river, such as Jack Crevalle, of bigger sizes. Yeah, there's all kinds of things in the river right now when it's green like this. Sometimes not so many blue cats, but we never know. We could bring into them tonight, but hopefully we bang into something. That's the whole point of being out here. Yeah, it was a hot day again, just like yesterday, but yes, it was really hot, just as hot as yesterday, but the humidity wasn't super high all day like it was yesterday. So there's that, right? But as soon as I got into the woods here where I'm at, there's more humidity in the woods when you're down here. Out in the open, it can feel like dry air, but you come into these woods and suffering begins to happen. We're still getting that bite. I'm trying to talk it out because I'm hoping that we can get a fish. That's why we're using 6/0 to start. We do have bigger hooks with us. 9/0 is the biggest I brought. I do have steel leader in case I want to go over to it. But in some of these spots, you know, you can have like a pretty good success rate of getting stuff in here without snagging, and then all of a sudden you hit something sharp and it cuts through the line. So that does occur where we're at and many other places I go. Steel leader is a much more expensive rig to, you know, make and all that, because the supplies cost more. So it kind of feels bad when you come to a spot like this and you keep losing one expensive rig after another. Mono leaders, a little cheaper to deal with. Well, it doesn't look like we're gonna be getting a little gaff top up here as soon as I thought. Oh, maybe, look, it's starting to happen again. I got tired of talking. I turned off the camera because I thought, well, nothing's coming of that. But look, I don't know if you can really see it, but we are getting a bite here. Wonder how bad the mosquitoes are going to be at this spot. I haven't been here in quite some time, if I'm honest. So we are in the woods, and we do have sunset coming. Like I said, it's about an hour away. I do have gnats around me, like pecker gnats, those sort of things. I don't see mosquitoes quite yet. Don't see catching a fish quite yet. I just see something bothering me. Ah, there's mullet jumping already. Is there anything worthwhile chasing that mullet? Probably not. Sometimes mullet are doing that to get away from something. Other times it's just, you know, having fun. And yeah, I'm not having so much fun yet. Oh, that's a little more. Did you see that? Something a little more serious. Gave me a massive slack line. I'm about sick of this cat and mouse game here, Mr. Fish, or dare I say burly crab. Sometimes crabs are what it is. They do show up in the river, but I don't think this is a crab. I wonder, let's see if I can just look out with a hook set. I felt very rapid head shakes, so pretty sure it's a cat. I wonder, it's gotta be a gaff top is what I'm wondering. The other thing that is a possibility as far as trash fish go is a stingray. Well, it don't feel quite like one, but it sure is holding down like one. And it's just boom, 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 real fast, kind of like machine gun, but low. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. He went into the Miata and shut the dang door on me. Let's come. Whoa, there we go. He moved out from it. We've got us a predicament here. Maybe the line is on something. We got to figure out that magical angle here to get off whatever we're on. Here we go. We got it. Probably like random revetment. In some areas, the revetment is there, but underneath lots of sediment. Let's see, what do we got here? Oh, look at this. Now, a lot of people talk about this fish as if it's like just pure garbage. And it's not, honestly. It's just, they got this really thick membrane on them, like ectoplasm from Ghostbusters. And a lot of people just can't get past it. However, I must say, this is probably my favorite catfish to eat, honestly, if I'm honest about it. Meat is so white, very white and flaky. It's good, really good. Just like hardhead catfish, if you get poked by the fins, any three of those, it's gonna sting, it's gonna swell up. But it's true, if you rub some of that membrane from the body, from the belly or anywhere, on where you got poked, it won't be dang near as bad as if you don't. Look at that. You got shoelace looking whiskers right there. So we're gonna let this one go, because as it stands, it is just way too hot in the kitchen to stand there doing anything for very long. So we are going to let him go. And it's probably beans on toast for me tonight. It's easy. Open a can, put some slices in the toaster, you're good to go. Do you see him? Yeah, I don't either, and I think that's what the problem is. I'm getting bit by the no-see-ums. Not mosquitoes. They're little tiny things biting my legs. So there we are on the drift, watching that bounce. And my goodness, the no-see-ums are thick down here. They're all concerned about my ankles. They're all around my ankles bothering me. Some of them are trying to tickle my toes. Little tiny nibbles they're taking at me. Well, at least they're not mosquitoes. So this is not an extremely deep hole that I'm fishing, right? It's not the actual channel. It's not the proper channel where it's even deeper. That's further out that way, closer to the other bank. But it's not super shallow. It's the anchorage, so it's not going to be super shallow, not super deep either. It's going to hold fish. At certain times of the year, it holds really big fish. But at this time of year, I may have some big fish, big alligator gar for sure. Small bull shark pups, maybe about 40 pounds being the biggest one. Occasionally an adult bull shark, right? But yeah, gaff top for sure. 17 after 7 now. Might take a minimalist approach, such as I did last night. My underwear is wet. Everything's wet. It's sweat. So yeah, a little uncomfortable standing here. All right, my dudes, a second fish just isn't going to happen. I want to get up this trail before it gets pitch black. Got maybe 10 minutes to do that. So yeah, you're right. Thanks for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, being a member of the channel. Especially thank you for that. And I will see you next time.